The game, Karutov, Larionov, and Doug Smith will be the forward line. The defensemen Jim Benning and Robert Nordmark. In goal, Steve Weeks. The Soviets win the draw, however, from the face-off. Konstantinov getting it to the line, but Nordmark knocked it down. Karutov then set up Smith right in front of the net, but it's called on the offside. And the face-off will be outside the blue line. Well, all eyes on this fellow who has had his problems. He first of all said he was out of shape. His coach agreed, his former coach. Yeah. So does the coach here.
Well, I think what happened, too, the Canuck management was going to give the Soviet experiment 30 games before they passed judgment. And on game 31, Krutov sat out in Minneapolis. So this experiment is an experiment that will take time to develop, but it sounded like McCammon's getting a little more faith in Krutov.
Starting to think they might be developing now. It's taken a while, of course. Language, everything else. Over the line, number 15 is Homotov. This is their big line now. Kamiensky, Bekov, and Homotov, a veteran line. But Buck winds up back at center ice. Konstantinov. This is now the green unit, the new green unit. Bekov inside the blue line, of course, with Krutov, Larionov here in Vancouver. The rest of the unit, two of them in New Jersey. Rebuilding. Larionov's over the line. Larionov clearing it in front. Here's a chance. The shot is just wide of the net. That one taken from the blue line by Jim Benning. Wrist shot, but he just missed the far corner. Now in deep. Larionov clearing it out near the line, and here comes Big Kamiensky to center ice. Tremendous speed, and he hit the line and put himself offside as he lost it against the checking. Well, a familiar face over the years. Only the 5th head coach in Soviet history as far as their national team is concerned. And, of course, is a longtime coach of the Central Army.
He sure likes talking about the game. We talked to him today, and as going into our discussion, we were told it will be a 5 to 10 minute little chat, but we got talking about Soviet and American or North American hockey, and he picked up. And my goodness, we might still be there if the interpreters hadn't shushed us out of the office.
Well, they finally said, look, we've got another appointment, and called him away. Well, he loves to talk about the game, and he's got so many ideas.
He does. He really does.
Puck out near the line, but Canucks can't control it. Now Fyodorov clears it over. Turning his Kravchuk. He clears it in over the line now. Fyodorov with a shot that's wide of the net. Adams on the far boards for the Canucks. Out to Tanti at center ice. Now one man back. That's Kravchuk. And Tanti takes a shot. It drifted right through the legs. I think Irbe got a piece of it, but not much. Wound up in the corner. Linden keeping it inside the blue line. Here comes Piakin. He stopped on the play. Nice play near the line by Trevor Linden. But now the Soviets get it in over the line. Kristyakov. He's checked. And out come the Canucks once again with Greg Adams leading the way to Sandlak. Sandlak taking the shot right on with a rising shot. In there now for the Canucks is Greg Adams. Adams can't control it. Linden in the corner. Sandlak working in there as well, along with the Soviets, Igor Stelnov. Stelnov comes away with the puck and clears it down the ice into the Canucks zone. Weeks out of the net. And as he let it go past, Doug Lidster touches the puck, and it is called on the icing.
Confusion here at the Soviet blue line to pick up Tanti just out of the picture. Now Tanti's going to get a good shot. The Uribe is going to get a little bit of a piece of that, and it's going to deflect wide, but the Soviets a little confused to the neutral zone. Tony Tanti, boy, the Vancouver Canucks need, as they say, needs 2 goals for 250 as a Canuck, but they need him to put the puck in the net. This is a team that sorely lacks some offense.
Well, the Canucks over the years have made some bad trades. That one was a good one. They got Tanti from the Chicago Blackhawks years ago, and he's almost 250 goals with this franchise. Here's a shot drifting in from the blue line by Lidster, picking it up along the boards and clearing it towards the line with Shiryayev. Now Lidster back inside his own blue line. Sandlak along with Bradley, but he sends it rink wide and over the line. Bradley trying to get that return pass in front of the net by Skriko. But the Soviets again take over, and it's cleared all the way down the ice. Back to get it for Vancouver is Melnick. It's called on the icing. No score in this hockey game. 3 minutes and 11 seconds gone. And it's playing in Europe. Beat Canada 8-6 at the Spengler Cup at Davos, Switzerland. On the face-off, a weak shot towards the net by Rich Sutter, who hasn't scored a goal in over 2 months. Shastin out at center ice now. Leading the rush. It's over the line. Shastin takes a shot. Weeks had to be alert on that one and covered up in front of the net. things are going to improve.
Sure, they took this from this point last year and went on and had a good, real second half of the season. And again, he's looking for that. Any angle now with your team struggling right there.
Out near the line, losing his helmet on the play is Vladimir Konstantinov, 6-year veteran with the Central Army. Puck winds up in the center ice zone with Maslenikov. The helmet still lying on the ice in the middle of the play as Robert Nordmark picks it up and shoots it into the Soviet zone. Tim Lenardon. Out near the line, Rick Sutter takes a shot. It deflects high in the air, and Irba, under pressure, hangs onto it and takes the pressure off.
Artur Irba, and we've discussed him. He did make a nice glove save earlier in the period and was able to move the puck off to the right. And as we suggest before, in watching the Volskrosiensk team earlier in the month playing Edmonton and Calgary, I just was not terribly impressed with the goaltending, the way they moved in the net. And I think that's just an indication of the just different systems and styles. I think we look at a final here, Boston beating Buffalo 4-3 in overtime. But the Soviets look for that one good shot, so consequently the goaltender is going to be in the center of the net and back in the net most of the time. But this guy's a little different. He'll challenge the shooter.
And the first I've ever seen in the Soviet Union to do that sort of thing. Out come the Soviets right now. Carrying it is Kamensky. He hits the line, drops it for Bekov. Bekov to Kamensky, but he couldn't hold the pass. And swinging back behind his own net is Karutov. Karutov now at center ice for Larionov. Larionov working to the line along with Doug Smith. Larionov drops it off for Reinhardt. Reinhardt deep in the corner against the Soviets. Andrei Homotov comes out near the line. There's a shot taken by Smith wide of the net. Bekov has it for the Soviets. Rink wide, Kamensky. To the line he comes, backing up on the play is Garth Butcher. He tries to circle him, got a shot away, loose in front of the net, and scores on the rebound. Homotov had all the time in the world as Butcher had been ridden behind the net. And Homotov gives the Soviets a 1-0 lead.
Well, Kamensky's going to beat Garth Butcher wide right here with those big, long legs and creates the play. Vancouver gets running around a little bit. Now, Weeksy's guessing here. Steve Weeks is guessing a little bit on that first move. He gets himself out of position. Again, Kamensky beats Butcher wide. Now, Weeks is going to guess right here. And he's going to get beat because he's out of position. Butcher gets beat wide. Weeks tries to guess 1-0 Red Army.
I think that the speed of Kamensky fooled Butcher.
That long stride, you know.
There's a good long pass up through the center for Kristyakov. They get another chance on the short side. Weeks is there for that one. 1-0. Central Army leading. Becca cleared near the line. They're unable to keep it in as Stelnov is checked. Now big hit in front of the Soviet bench. Turning with it and taking a shot across the back of the head was Shiryayev. And it's Lidster turning to Tanty. Tanty at center ice. He's checked. Fedorov shooting it back in. Melnick going after it. The Soviets in after it. That's Kristyakov. Makes a move. Lidster then moves in, covers up. It's into the corner with the puck. Clears it along for Greg Adams. Adams to Tanty on this side. Out through center ice now. That lead pass for Trevor Linden. Put it in front of the net. And there is Irbe doing something Soviet goaltenders don't normally do, and that's
exactly. He put himself in a position to stop the pass. And he made a very aggressive move from a Soviet goaltender.
Turning with it is Jim Benning now near his own line. Gets it to Linden. There's a good move. Over the line he comes. Linden tried to get set. And it was just poked away. Now it's loose at the side of the net. The Canucks. Here's Linden. He took a shot and hit the glass as it deflected high in the air. And back forward is Skriko in the corner, but he has checked off the puck. And out comes Kostichkin. Kostichkin in the center ice zone now. And clearing it into the Canucks zone. Skriko. Skriko chased up against the boards by Davidov. Davidov now trying to circle and get set. Clears it in front of the net. There's a shot over top of the net by Soviet forward Yevgeny Shastin. In the corner once again. And the Canucks in possession as Sandlak gets the pass and shoots it down into the far corner in the Soviet zone. Irbe, there's that shooting style of his as he cleared it off the boards. And Brian Bradley up against the boards. Now Sandlak is in there as well, but he couldn't control it against the checking. And out come the Soviets once again. Leading the rush is Shibyev. Shibyev shooting it in. There's a hard hit against the boards on Yevgeny Davidov. And Bradley's got it in the center ice zone. Davidov lost his helmet on the play. He took a real rap up against the glass. Now Bradley. He's chased off the puck. For the Soviets, it's Konstantinov clearing it to center ice with a pass, a hard one, over 2 lines through the center ice zone to Igor Chibirev. So the Soviets leading 1-0, 7:19 gone in the first period. On the play, Brian Bradley for roughing it, 7:19, so the Soviets on the power play.
This may be a result of how the play opened up physically on a big hit by Jim Sandlak on Davidov, the winger for the Red Army team, and the play picked up in intensity, particularly so from a physical angle, but Brian Bradley gets a roughing penalty, and the Red Army goes on their first power play of the evening.
The game against Winnipeg the other night, which Winnipeg won, was a pretty physical game. Here's Kamensky now as the Soviets on the power play, leaves it off for Bekov. Bekov up there with Homotov, puts it in. They both get jammed up as the defense is tightened right up along the blue line. Sutter then back to pick it up in the corner. Bekov moves in. Homotov's in there as well. Sutter's the one that went down. Bekov with the puck trying to dig it out of the traffic in there. Pretty good job. Out near the line, Kravchuk clearing it over now for Malikin. Kamensky, shot right on, rebound. Out comes to Bekov, but in there to pick up the loose puck is Bozak, and he clears it out to center ice.
Kamensky taking that shot from right low in the right circle, not at all like most Soviet teams, but this guy's an offensive leader for the Red Army team.
Kamensky, 23-year-old, future for this team. Homotov, he's checked, out at center ice past Sutter. And Bozak also after it, number 14. Here they come again. Kamensky over the line. Along with Bekov. Kamensky parked just inside the blue line, looking for that man at the point. Now gets some room and moves in. Clears it rink wide. Homotov, number 15. He's hit by Melnick in the corner. Homotov. Back out to the point. Kravchuk. Shot right on the rebound. And the defense is right there. Lidster to clear it out of harm's way and bring it to center ice. Out there is Kravchuk once again, circling. Over for Homotov. Now a change underway with 24 seconds left in the Soviet power play. Lidster behind the net. Doing a good job killing off time, and finally it's flipped up over the glass and called for a stoppage.
Canuck fans, if you're coming to Sunday's
Andrei Homotov scored the only goal of the evening to put the Central Red Army team up 1-0 here at the Coliseum in Vancouver. Again, Kamensky using a big stride to take Garth Butcher deep on the goal. We're going to catch the tail end. He has beaten Butcher now, but again, watch, he makes it. Weeks right there guesses that the shot's coming. Good composure in front of the net by Homotov, who is a Quebec draftee.
That whole line is a Quebec draftee. Bekov, Homotov, and Kamensky.
Quebec could use any draftee now, couldn't they?
Back to get it is Stelnov, deep in his own zone. He leaves it off. Shiryayev stopped behind the net. Before checking being done there by number 21, Doug Smith. It comes out to center ice. Shaston can't hold it near the line. It's cleared finally over the line by Maslenikov. And Sandlak clearing it out. Larionov comes off the bench as the Canucks make a change. Puck all the way down into the Soviet zone. Cleared right back out again, and Jim Benning has got it. Benning to Nordmark. Nordmark, much improved player this year. Using his size much better. Like to get it deep in his own zone for the Soviets. Clear it near the line. Kusyakov flips it deep into his own zone. Gets it again, clears it to the line, but Nordmark just shoots a soft shot in there. For a moment there seemed to handcuff Irbe. Now Fedorov. Fedorov over the line, number 18. There's the shot. As he was drifting away, he let it go. And Rutov tried to slip it back to Sandlak. He lost balance. Fedorov then with a shot on the short side, which stood in there and made the stop as he took it off his chest protector. Still 1-0. Red Army leads Canucks.
The Red Army team is a lot feistier club than we saw in most Croatians. This is a good hockey team. More North American style of this club.
That's Reinhardt clearing it out near the line. Tandy, or at least Greg Adams, then relaying it down into the Soviet zone. Irbe is there. Cleared around the boards. Garth Butcher pinches in, but can't hold it. Tandy then takes his position at the point and took the shot. Tried to get it in there looking for a deflection on a low shot, but was steered behind the net. Greg Adams Adams looking for Tanti in front of the net. He's got some room, but he couldn't get the shot away as he was knocked to the ice by the Soviet defense. Out they come. And down over the line comes Kostichkin. He takes a shot. Reinhardt to Tanti. Tanti to Adams. At center ice, dropping it for Tanti. He couldn't hold it. And again, the Soviets with Chibira. Deep in the zone, Davidov. Yevgeny Davidov. Off the boards and through center ice, past Kostichkin and down into the Canucks zone. And it's Lidster touches it, and it's called on the icing. 11:26 gone in the first period. 1-0. Centermen don't get the prominence that they get in the National Hockey League. The wingers are always the high-profile guys, but take a look at that point total over the years, and of course he centered the best line, one of the best lines in the world for a long, long time.
A lot of times in the Soviet system, that center iceman through the neutral zone is essentially wheeling and dealing to nudge passes and hit those streaking wingers that take the shots, and that's probably why they don't get the prominence, because essentially in their system, particularly to the neutral zone, they're more like a street corner cop directing the puck to their breaking wingers.
All right, over the line they come once again. Now here is Larionov trying to get set. Perutov coming in there to help out, but the Soviets come away with it. And at center ice, Shiryayev giving it to Kamensky to Bekov. His shot just wide of the net. Omotov on the far boards, but it hopped over his stick. And Krutov, Smith, back to Krutov. Hits the line. Smith's offside. The puck comes loose. There's one man back. Here they come again. Omotov. Kamensky getting set in front of the net, and he shot it wide. It may have deflected. Kamensky shooting it wide. Krutov tried to flip past to Smith. It was intercepted at the line, and a quick shot taken by Malikov. Weeks then leaves it at the side of the net, and that's Lidster. Smith, number 21 for the Canucks, at his own blue line, being hounded by Kamensky. Smith clears it in over the line, but they lose possession as Konstantinov then clears it to the line, and here's Kamensky once again. Seems to have the puck all the time. Takes the shot, long rebound, and the defense is there, at least Larionov is. He gives to Sandlak. As the Canucks are on a change, Sandlak makes a move, hits the line. Sandlak looking for a man in front, got it in there as the defense, Jim Benning, had pinched in. But he was unable to get that pass. At center ice again is Shastin. Shastin coming to the line, and he's offside as Maslenikov got in just ahead of the play. 1-0. Red Army leads the Canucks. Soviets have their fourth line out there right now. Shastin, Maslenikov, and Kristich. One of our pickup players. They have 3 5-man units and then an extra line. That's the way they set things up, and they always like to keep the units together. It's been the Soviet style for years, and you can't move them out of it. There's Kristich, number 25 for the Soviets, who is a draft choice of the Washington Capitals 2 years ago. He plays with Sokol Kiev. A good year last year. 27 points is a lot, because you have to remember in the Soviet Union, they seldom give a second assist on plays. 20-goal scorer in the Soviet Union is like the old 20-goal scorer in the NHL. So it's a fine year. Shastin back in over the line now. Checked closely by Nordmark up against the boards. Skriko is in there, getting a little help, but he can't get it out over the line as Malakin keeps it in. Here's a shot. Big save. Rebound. And Weeks is there for the rebound as well. That shot came in there, I believe, from Kristich. And again, the Canucks coming out. At center ice, leading the rush is Petri Skriko. In front, there's Bradley. Bradley trying to get loose against the checking of Maslenikov, and the Soviets are back out again with Kristich leading the way. He takes a shot off the shoulder of Weeks. And again, cleared near the line by Garth Butcher. Here's a chance for the Soviets as they look for a man in the slot area, but the defense tightened up out there. Pinching in from the point is Kristich, and he paid the price for that as he was nailed. Not Kristich, but Stelnov, the defenseman, was really nailed as he moved in to pick up that puck. Kristich has got it now, back in his own zone. Swinging back is Shiryayev. Along the boards now, Bozek. Getting it to the line, but no further. Soviets then with that lead pass. Biakin can't knock it down. Back to get it is Reinhardt, and it's called on the icing. There's the captain, who has been bothered by back problems. We talk about trades that the Canucks should never have made. Here was another steal.
Well, you guys come very cheaply from the Calgary Flames. Obviously, Calgary thought he was finished with the back problems he had. It hasn't been so much his back this year. He's had a bad ankle. He sprained his ankle early in the year, and he's speaking with him today, has not yet got over with. The problem with Paul Reinhart and the Vancouver Canucks, this is not a guy that they can ease back into the lineup. This is a guy who is a focal point for anything that's going to happen to this Vancouver hockey club.
Well, back earlier in the year, he was leading the league in scoring. In his first 18 games, he had 5 goals and 16 assists. It was really going well until the injury, which occurred in Quebec City beginning of November. Actually, the 11th of November. The Soviets are back at it again. Here's Fedorov with that shot. They're keeping Weeks busy. The shots on goal are 13-5 for the Soviets so far. He's given up just the 1 goal, and you can hardly blame Weeks for it. He was a man parked right in front of him all alone for much longer than you'd like. Butcher behind his own net. Out comes Sutter. Here's Bozek to center ice. Bozek stopped up along the boards. Pulling a player down. That is Lenardin, who suffered some kind of... There's a quick shot and a goal scored by Davidoff. Out at the center ice zone is Lenardin. Davidoff got that puck and sent a screenshot past Weeks. But Lenardin, on that play, went down. He appeared to twist his ankle against the boards when he was checked, and he just simply could not get up, and it caused the Canucks to be shorthanded. There's Lenardin up at the top of your screen, down on the ice.
I think he hurt his knee coming in. Now, this is when you have Steve Weeks is not a #1 goaltender. I think he's going to twist his knee as he goes down right on the right. See, he got pushed from behind as he was going down. That doesn't do anything for the inside of the right knee.
That was Biakin, number 6.
Biakin, not so much. He pushed him almost on the way down. That is not a very good sign. That on the inside of the right knee, that ligament is going to have some damage. In the meantime, Steve Weeks makes some big saves early in the game, has had a lot of work, 15 shots, and yet a drifter from right here. Watch now. The Soviet defenseman is just right there, just kind of leans on him after the play. He's on his way down, kind of leans on him, and that knee gets into a position that nobody meant it to be, and that at the risk of being giving a medical opinion, that doesn't look good.
A little bit reminds you of the Lawrence Taylor, Joe Theismann injury. The same type of thing happened there, where Taylor rolled over on the back of his leg. Perhaps not as serious. We hope it's not as serious. Puck inside the Soviet zone now, with the Soviets leading 2-0. Malakian trying to get loose. He's unable to. Davidoff turning. He moves the puck well. Handles the puck very well, but he slipped it through the attacking forward there. Linden got it to the center ice zone, no further. Chibira. Davidoff. Chibira. Here's the shot. And down on his knees to make the save is Weeks. Out near the line. Checked away there by Chibira. And is finally brought out to center ice. That's Tanti getting that pass from Greg Adams. But it's intercepted near the line, and Kostichkin comes back, and he's checked as he hit the line by Larry Melnick of the Canucks. Had to get in over the line. The Soviets complaining that he was hooked. That was Kostichkin, as Melnick put the hook on him as he hit the line, but the referee, Morozov, did not see it. And deep inside the zone, it is still no. Yakin losing it there. Swinging around is Karutov. Karutov dropping it for Smith. He flips it ahead, but there was nobody there, and out come the Canucks once again with that lead pass by Bekoff, but he couldn't get Homotop with it. It's cleared by Weeks into the corner. Homotop now has it. And checked closely by Larionov. Behind the net it comes. This is Kamensky. Kamensky. Bekoff can't reach the pass. It's center ice. Karutov. Larionov unable to get the pass. It was just dropped for him. And the Soviets are back with Kamensky. Homotov now will try. He's number 15. Just slide it through to Bekoff. Was unable to, and Smith has it over for Larionov. Larionov back to Smith, and that was stopped up by the defense. Malahov clearing it back out. Here's the shot right on. That one taken by Bekoff. The long rebound, and it comes all the way up to center ice. And here come the Canucks, led by Larionov. Larionov dropping it to Smith. Smith shooting it, and it's steered into the corner by Irba. Back out to center ice. Reinhart, team captain for the Canucks, swinging back into his own zone. Reinhart, of course, wearing the C, normally worn by Stan Smeal, is out with an injury. Sandlak Along the boards for Bradley. Bradley being pushed up against the glass by Maslenikov. Now they start to get a little physical. Coming out of the corner is Sandlak. Sandlak dropping it off. Butcher along the blue line. He's being checked closely there by Shastin. Into the corner it goes. Picked off by Bradley. Bradley swinging out near the line. Reinhardt in for Skriko. The screen shot just deflected off the leg of Kravchuk and out to center ice, and it's Reinhardt again. Reinhardt ahead for Bradley. He's checked on the play. Maslenikov having trouble getting loose. Now to the line come the Soviets with Shastin leading the way, and down goes Shastin as he hits the line, and it is called on the offside. 2-0. Red Army lead Canucks. 1:27 left in the period.
Welcome back. A 2-0 Soviet lead here. Red Army 2, Vancouver 0. It's easy to see why the Vancouver Canucks struggle, particularly offense. For the amount of flow they have into the offensive zone, they generate very few quality chances. It's interesting to see they've been outshot 17-5 in this hockey game, but they have entered the offensive zone a number of times and created nothing down low.
It's Lidster trying to get loose. Now it's cleared down into the Soviet zone. Going back to get it is Shiryayev. Shiryayev out along the boards for Biakin, who is unable to hold it, and the Canucks take over once again with Sutter feeding it back to his defense. Melnick clearing it up ice. Chistyakov. Number 6 for the Soviets is Biakin, the veteran. And here comes Vancouver once again with Steve Bozek unable to hit the line. Now the Soviets again. The shot drifted in there, taken by Fyodorov. Sutter. A rink-wide pass. Karutov. Bozek. And to feed it through to Sutter. Sutter's got it. He goes down under some checking there. Fans want a penalty. Konstantinov. And they are going to get it. And the Canucks are going to have an opportunity to go for a power play. Here's Dan Matheson.
Konstantinov here with 20 seconds left. Vladimir Konstantinov. He's going to pull down one of the Sutter brothers from Viking, Alberta, Rich Sutter, and give the Vancouver Canucks an opportunity to go on the power play. A Detroit draft pick, Konstantinov. In the meantime, the Canucks continue to struggle creating any offensive opportunities, and that's really where their problems lie.
Vyacheslav Bekov, the new captain, replacing Vyacheslav Fetisov in that role. There's Tandy. There are only 15 seconds remaining in the period. He deflects it in there. Adams, and no goal, I think, is the ruling by the referee. We'll have to look at the replay on that. A high shot that was deflected in by Greg Adams.
This is awfully close, and we'll be able to see on the replay. We get a chance here. It's awfully close from this angle. Tanty's just going to advance. It's late in the period. Boy, oh boy, that's awful close. Greg Adams is a big fella. We'll see again. Tanty, puck to the net. Oh, well. Boy, it's interesting to see where the blade of the stick was. Maybe you'll get another look at another point, but Tanty just advancing the puck to the net late in the period. Close call.
There's a great move, and they come again. There's the shot to hit the side of the net. Tanty, as the net is off its moorings, took the backhand shot with 1 second left in the period. So the Canucks showing the most spark they've shown in the game here in the dying seconds with the power play going.
The Canucks may have a 20-second offense here because their best offense has been in this last 20 seconds. Brian Bradley beats the Soviet defenseman.
It's interesting to watch Irbe on that play. Never lost sight of the puck, and he was going for a glove save even as the net was coming off the moorings.
Defenseman Malkin beaten pretty cleanly by Brian Bradley as Steve Weeks has left the bench to give an extra attacker for the Vancouver Hockey Club with only a second to go.
Well, sometimes it's a second and 3/4 or something, and you might get a chance to make a play. But as it was less than a second. And here's the key play of the period coming up. Key
play of the period is the Soviets' first goal set up by Kamensky, beats Butcher wide. Khomitov shows good composure, gets control of the pucks, gets Steve Weeks out of position, and dumps the puck behind Steve Weeks at the end of 1-2-0. the Central Red Army.
Well, shots on goal in the period, 18-6 favor the Red Army.
National Hockey League team. Now, we did see the Torrents team early in their tour, and perhaps it took a little while because they did not have as much international experience as some of these players have. This Soviet team's a good one.
Here's Reinhardt at center ice with that lead pass to Greg Adams. Can't knock it down. Irby mishandled the puck and nearly put it right on the stick of Brian Bradley. Goes up against the boards for the puck. Now Adams, big scorer for this Canucks team, gets it out. Bradley out to the point. Having trouble handling it was Reinhardt, but managed to wrist it in against the boards. They clear it in behind the net. Good puck movement here by the Canucks as Tandy shoots it loose in front. Rebound comes out to Bradley. He whacks at it. Irby down on his knees, clears it away. Now Tandy hits blocked at the defense and cleared out to center ice. Homotov leading the rush along with Beckhoff over the line. Tried to slide it through it. A good job there by Reinhardt. And out come the Canucks once again. Cleared down to the line. Adams trying to get loose. He's knocked away from the puck and is cleared back out to center ice. It bounces over the stick of Reinhardt. He'll have to go back into his own zone to retrieve it with 35 seconds remaining in the power play. Beckhoff backhanding it out to center ice. Tandy knocks it down, ducks away from one check as Homotov moved in on him and works it to the line. And Bradley brought it in with Tandy trapped inside the blue line. Called on the offside. Well, there's Trevor Linden, number 16, Medicine Hat Jr., just 19 years of age, under a lot of pressure, off a great year. And the Canucks fans, of course, hungry for anybody to cheer here over the years, and they've got somebody, I think, that they can hang this franchise on.
Well, that's for sure. And after 30 games of his sophomore year, we should not turn sour on him. McCammon and Quinn and the Vancouver management feel he's just trying to do a little too much. We tend to forget he's only a 19-year-old kid.
Now back come the Soviets, back in over the line, and a long shot by Fyodorov, knocked into the corner by Weeks, and here's Krutov. Krutov. Larionov at center ice. Larionov makes a good move on the defense. Now going in. Krutov positions himself in the high slot. Gets out to Nordmark to Krutov. In front for Smith, but he couldn't knock it down. Benning now shoots it in deep. Round behind the net. Nordmark moving in. Knocks that puck into the corner. Krutov clearing it out in front of the net now. Larionov. Krutov once again. Here's his shot that's deflected wide of the net. Benning moves in. Clear behind the net. After it back there is Malachov. Yakin can't knock it down, but it comes out to center ice. Turning with it out there is Konstantinov, and he shoots it in. Weeks leaving it for the defense. Nordmark turning. At center ice once again. Larionov shooting it in. Krutov moving in after it as Irby threw it out, and Krutov moving in nearly stripped it away from Chibirev. Down the ice it comes once again. Weeks steps out of his crease. Flipped into the corner as Davidoff moved in on him. Weeks again behind his net. Puck comes out along the glass. And Lenardin, who is a victim of that hard check against the boards when the second goal was scored, is out there on the ice. Well, one of the things that hurt the Soviets, at least one of them, Igor Larionov, was a case of the flu that hit him just as trained.
He shows the character, I think, that's not terribly evident in a lot of our perceptions of what the Soviet people are. He's a colorful and a bright fellow.
There's Lidster trying to get out. That was knocked down by Davidoff and goes back deep inside the zone. Lidster's behind the net now. He's working as a defensive pair with Melnick. Cleared out to center ice. Shirayev inside his own line. He's number 3. Out at center ice. So the Canucks take over with Melnick. Melnick clearing it to the line. Back out again as Lenardin is trapped inside that blue line. Sutter, Melnick. Melnick at the red center line. Flips it in. Rolls all the way to Irba, and he holds on, the young Latvian goaltender, and he gets the face-off deep inside the Soviet zone. 2-0, Red Army lead Canucks, leading Vancouver 2-0 in the second period. Face-off will be deep in the Soviet zone. Teams at even strength at 3:19 of the second period. From the face-off. Out come the Soviets once again at center ice. That lead pass by Maslenikov. Now working for the net. That's Kristich. Still in there. And it's out at center ice. Taking out is Bradley. Trying to get some skating room. Takes the shot. A good rebound. There's the rebound, and it trips over top of the net. Strico had a golden opportunity, and he was looking for that top corner, and he just drifted it over top of the net. Sandlak moving in there. Bradley, and he just lost possession of the puck as he started out, and Kistrich is back in over the line. Sandlak back checking on the play. Had trouble handling it for a moment, then took it out of harm's way behind the net, and it clears up over the glass. Well, there's big Jim.
The cart with meat, and Stan Schmiel had to suggest that, yes, indeed, you could come back. There will be meat on the shelves tomorrow. Different culture. That's a thing we tend to forget when we suggest that the Soviets are struggling. That's communication, culture, and the game. Big, big difference.
Trevor Linden bringing it to the line. He took a flip pass there and finds up at the side of the net. And is trying to get set on the backhand with Doug Smith as he went for the net. Greg Adams in the corner. He is knocked off the puck rather vigorously by Igor Kravchuk. Kravchuk is down without the helmet. Puck comes near the boards for Shiryayev. Back out near the line, Benning now as the Canucks get very physical in there. Now clear to the side of the net. Nice deflection attempt. Drive right at the side of the net by Greg Adams, and it's cleared to center ice. Benning going deep in his own zone now. Homotov forechecking on the play. Cleared around the boards. Doug Smith. Smith out at center ice. Linden over the line. Burning. Adams trying to get it in front. He's number 8. Back to Linden. Linden set the shot, deflected. Good sprawling save by the captain, Homotov, to deflect that one up into the crowd. Red Army 2, Vancouver nothing. This game's starting to get a little physical, Dave, and I think that's what Vancouver has to do against.
I think so, too. They came out. Sandlak was bumping. They've got a couple of their players gone. They're still not out of this game, and the Canadians have shown a penchant to come back.
Larionov trying to get set. He is taken out of the play by Shiryayev. Larionov behind the net. Now Krutov parked right in front of the net, but they can't get the puck to him, and the puck finally slides free, and Chistyakov out at center ice. Lidster stripped the puck away, but then Yedorov tried to send a man away, and it was stripped away by Larionov. Here's Krutov shooting it in. I thought the Krutov looked slow in the game against the Canadians a couple of nights ago, but he's got a little jump to his game here, perhaps just playing against his old teammates. Soviets working from deep inside their own zone. It's cleared off by Stelnov to the far boards. At center ice, that's Yedorov. Clearing it ahead for Biakin, who was checked as he hit the line by Melnick. And behind his own net, Doug Lidster. Out along the boards, Canty backhanding it up into the air, but he can't get out of the zone as Yedorov keeps it in. He is checked once again by Lidster. And at center ice, here come the Soviets with a little skating room. It is Kristyakov. He takes the shot. That's steered into the corner. And Melnick. Larionov. Hits the line. Larionov looking for a man, but he threw it right into the traffic. And Davidov is out there. Davidov to the line, trying to find some room. Shoots it, scores. Davidov had a man to distract goaltender Steve Weeks in Tristrict. And he just took the shot himself.
He does a good job here. He pump fakes about 3 times. Garth Butcher doesn't know whether to go, get up, get him, no, bang, in the net. He pump faked 2 or 3 times. There was a big, see where this play develops. It develops so late in the defensive zone. Butcher has really nowhere to get himself in position because he's running out of room closer to the net. Good move by Davidoff.
On the face-off, Kravchuk near his line, 3-0. Central Army leading. Malakin deep in his own zone. The Soviets swinging back now with Davidov. Had a terrific game here. Davidov working out to center ice. Look at the speed he develops as he hits the line. Work goes for the net, but he was chased off the play by the veteran Paul Reinhardt. Davidov again in deep. Into the corner it goes. Reinhardt going to dig it out. Does get it out near the line. Lenardin couldn't hold it out there, and it's slid back to the defense. That's Malakin shooting it in, and Weeks back there to leave it for Butcher. Around the boards it comes. At center ice, Sutter. Sutter just gets it out over the line. Battling along the boards with Kravchuk. It's brought right back in again. Now Sutter turning. Puck was behind him as he reached for it, and Malakin back near his line. Cleared all the way down the ice. And then to touch it. Third behind the net. Weeks. Body's starting to fly here as Lenardon up against the boards. Out. Chirayev. There's it in. Back near the line again. Chirayev, number 3. Shot. Screen shot, too, and the deflection was just wide by Shustin. Shustin up against the boards. And Sutter takes it away from him and one-hands it out over the line where Lenardon just eases it down into the Soviet zone. Stelnov back to get it. Round the net he comes. Stelnov out along the boards. A lead pass. Tristridge with the shot. Cleared away. Nordmark, number 6. On the boards for Petri Skriko. Skriko with Bradley. Rink-wide pass. Bradley picks it up just outside the blue line. Is forced to circle back. Benning gets the pass. Benning. It's dropped back for Nordmark. At center ice. Good move. Nordmark. Cleared over the line now. Nordmark working in deep. Clears it and is deflected up into the crowd and called for a face-off deep in the Soviet zone. 3-0. Red Army leads the Canucks. Second period.
Now, Davidoff on this third Soviet goal, again, he's going to play possum with Butcher, but Butcher is so deep in the defensive zone, he has really nowhere to go. The whole play started. Larionov enters the Soviet offensive zone and gives up the puck in that gray area. Soviets come back 2-on-1, 3-0 Red Army.
Puck is cleared down the ice into the Canucks zone. And back to get it is Benning. Benning starting out now. Clears it off on the wing. Petri Skriko in the center ice zone. Over the line, trailing him is Bradley. It's relayed in front. Bradley upended in front of the net by the defense. And again, it's the Soviets with Bekov coming to center ice. Bekov with Homotov. Homotov gets the pass. Over the line he comes. Kamiensky is a broken stick on the play. And down goes Homotov as he crossed the line. So Homotov perhaps took a two-hander as he hit that line, whatever it is, bothering him enough that he'll limp to the bench. Red Army 3, Vancouver nothing. 10:44 left in the second. Homotov is on the bench. The little guy took a shot as he hit the line. Here it is.
Right here, Sandlak is going to lay his stick in there, and I'm not quite sure what warrants the wounded walk to the bench for Homotov. But in the meantime, Big Jim Sandlak's in the penalty box.
There's a shot from the point by Malakian that is just wide of the net. Fedorov up near the line now. Malakian, Fedorov. Watch this kid. He's going to be a great player, number 18. Fedorov. Now up against the boards. Big hit by Biakin. There's going to be a penalty for either elbowing or charging or interference. I don't see the interference, but I sure saw an elbow and a charge. So Biakin has been a rather vigorous individual for this Soviet team, and he's picked up a penalty. He's a pickup as far as this team is concerned.
He's going to come in out of the left-hand side here and hit Larry Melnick with a stick, an elbow, and a charge. And sure enough, he gets 2 minutes for interference.
The only thing I didn't say was cross-checking.
Yakin, the Soviets are winning a lot of the little physical battles. This is a lot different team than the team we saw with Voskrosiensk, who leads the Soviet Elite League. This team is physical. Their skill level is high. Tikhonov, if indeed it's a changing of the guard, and if this is an indication of what he's going to see from his Red Army team. Boy, I like what I'm seeing here from this Red Army club. It's an NHL club out here.
Well, he said this afternoon the game is changing in the Soviet Union, and the one area that he says over the years that he's had this club since 1978 has been in the physical nature of the game. It's the part that they have picked up most from North American play.
They aren't intimidated by the physical play, and as a matter of fact, they're winning a lot of those little battles.
Here's Fedorov. Look at that move. And there's a shot over top of the net. Boy, he came in flying.
But this is when a forward's eyes light up when you see another forward assuming the defensive position without his feet moving. Fedorov now is going to come streaking through the neutral zone, and we're going to watch Krutov in a stationary position. Whoops. That's not a defenseman playing defense.
I can remember a Canada Cup, the Canada Cup the Soviets won, when Krutov came up the left side and the forward back on a shorthanded situation was Guy Lafleur, and he ate Guy Lafleur alive. Went in and scored what was the biggest goal in whitewashing the Soviets gave Team Canada to win the Canada Cup. Here's a shot in front of the net. Just wide. Kristyakov with that one. Now behind his own net. It's Larionov. Larionov at center ice. Tries to break through the defense and does a good job, but then had to roll off the end of his stick under the checking of Malakhin. Have to give some marks to the two Soviet players for the Canucks. They played pretty well here tonight, so maybe they'll be able to use this game as a kind of a stepping stone, but not here. As breaking in all alone is Fedorov, the backhand shot, and he scores. Fedorov split the defense and found himself all alone.
The play is going to break down again in the neutral zone for Vancouver, and the puck, it comes out. There are an awful lot of Vancouver Canucks in a small area of the ice. In the meantime, Fedorov is going to go in uncontested from the neutral zone. Well, a couple of Michael Jordan jukes and jives on the frozen H2O as we watch him here. Watch how many moves he makes now. There's one there, two there, three with the hands. Weeks, although, does a pretty good job staying with them. But in the meantime, too many Canucks in too small an area in the neutral zone, and one pass beats three of them.
Short-handed goal, and it's 4-0 Red Army.
When you speak of Fedorov, he was a fourth-round pick of the Detroit Red Wings in '89. And Ron, I know you were suggesting earlier that he was the roommate of
Alexander Mogilny. That's right. Well, they were when Mogilny defected, he went back to the hotel and tried to talk Fedorov into going as well. Fedorov said, "No, my parents are in the Soviet Union, and I just don't want to do it."
And Tikhonov today suggested that of Mogilny, Pavel Bure, and Fedorov, that Fedorov was the best player of the young three.
And everybody has been raving about Bure. That's an icing call. Nordmark back to touch it. Everybody has been raving about Bure, who is now at the World Junior Championship. But I asked the broadcaster for the Soviet Union, and he said Fedorov is definitely the best. Red Army has won a ton of championships, as you can see, over the years. And they are just an unbeatable combination. 13 consecutive championships, by the way.
Well, and speaking with Tikhonov again today, we were suggesting that maybe the league lacks from top to bottom the competitive spirit that is in the NHL, and I think Larionov has indicated that the difference so far for him has been that every game for the Vancouver Canucks is a battle, where in a lot of the games that he had with the Red Army, it was just show up and win.
Well, here's Bradley getting a chance in front of the net. It's steered into the corner as he tried to work it out. Bradley's got it again. Number 10 for the Canucks. Trico turning. 26 clears it in front, and there is our friend Mr. Irba shooting it out to center ice. And Latvian. Nordmark back to get it. Nordmark plays pretty well. You're a defenseman, Dave. And Trico shot, and again Irba out to cut the angle down, and he sent that one into the corner. This Nordmark, I'm quite impressed with the way he's played. I've seen him through 2 games now. Kristich over the line. Here's the shot by Davidoff. Blocked at the defense. That was Nordmark who was down. And out come the Canucks once again. Bradley working to the line now. Bradley trying to circle the defense. Tied up on the play by Konstantinov. And the puck slides to Shaston and is carried down the ice.
Brian Bradley behind the play. Belts, one of the Soviet players. Konstantinov draws a stir here in the crowd.
Well, here's
stirring moments for the Canucks fans here.
Konstantinov gets the pass away through center ice. Kamiensky couldn't hold it. Melnick's back. Melnick hits the line. Bozek unable to get loose against the checking of the defense. There's a good solid hit up against the boards on the far side by Tim Leonard. Melnick, they head for Sutter. Sutter feeding it back into his own zone. Lidster moves it out to center ice. Konstantinov and just slips it out. Malakhin. One thing about the Soviets now, the hitting is hitting. You can play it everywhere. And now we've got a little bit of jousting going on between Sutter and Malakhin. Malakhin without a stick. Sutter kept his. So that was kind of a mismatch all the way along. 4-0. Red Army leads. We'll get penalties here. 7:01 left in the second.
I guess I've always believed that success begins with making the most of whatever time we're given here.
He shoots, he scores! We're going to see how this develops here. Rich Sutter, I'm sorry, one of the Sutters anyway. A little jostling here, but I would tell you, this Soviet team does not back away. Sutter throws a fist, and now Sutter is after him. It looks like the Soviet would like to go, but Sutter maybe is charting untested waters. I'm not quite sure what to expect from the Soviet, but...
That's a very interesting sight. There's a Soviet dropping his stick.
Soviet dropping
and
his
a Canadian
stick.
not dropping his stick.
That's right, and one of the Sutters, my goodness. We're seeing a changing of the guard when it comes to physical play.
There's icing, so we're back into the Canucks zone. You said something while we were on the commercial break. The Soviets have not turned away from one check in this game.
They have not. They really, as we take a look at Krutov, who took a big hit by Biakin in the first period, and took a while getting up, but the Soviets have not turned away from any check. They played Philadelphia Flyer, Boston Bruin hockey. They don't turn away when a Canuck makes a pass. And this is, I'm very impressed with the quality of this club's effort here tonight.
Here's Homotov getting set, and he shot it right through the legs of Weeks, but he's got enough of it that it drifted wide of the post. Here they come again. There's a shot, hit the post, and back out again. Great chance there, right in front of the net by Bekov, and it got by Weeks, but hit the post, and Weeks was alert to grab it. Here he is again.
Again, an awful lot of good physical work by the Soviets going to the net. He's going to see three of them down low, fighting off Lidster. Backs up Bekov, as we mentioned before, one of the Quebec properties here in this Red Army team.
It may have been Kamensky right at the side of the net here. They got a stick on it. Off the face-off, Reinhardt around the boards, and it's cleared out through center ice. Adams racing after it, and cleared off the glass by Irbe.
He doesn't hesitate to come out, does he, Ron?
No, you never saw Tretiak do that. Malachian loses to Adams. Adams to Smith. Smith just dropped it back, and it's Linden who clears it in. Kravchuk made a play before he had control of the puck, and it winds up deep in his own zone. Bekov up along the boards, past Homotov, and Reinhardt will go back into his own zone to pick it up. Reinhardt working with Garth Butcher. Reinhardt ahead, Adams. Adams hits the line. Here's Reinhardt moving in with some room, and he shot it high, but over top of the net. Homotov ahead, Bekov, number 19, with Kamensky over the line, but he feeds it ahead through the defenseman, Shiryaev. He shot it in there, but he had a bad angle. And good flow to this game right now as it goes back and forth. Bekov turning in the center ice zone. Bekov, little guy, works towards the line and drops it back. Shiryaev back deep in his own zone for Igor Stelnov. Shiryaev off the stick of Homotov, but he manages to reach back for it. Now some checking produces the puck for the Canucks as Reinhardt gets it in. Striko's got a little bit of room, but is forced into the corner, and he takes a hit from Shiryaev as he unloaded that pass. Out near the line, kept in by Garth Butcher. Now it's out at center ice again, and Bradley to Benning. Benning back to Bradley. Bradley with Striko hits the line. He goes down under the checking. Striko forced back. There's Benning, number 4. There's a rink-wide pass. Striko working down, takes the screenshot. He's wide of the net with it. Out it comes for Benning. Benning into the corner. Striko turning. Striko out near the line. Backhands a pass. Bradley back to Benning. Benning takes the shot wide of the net. The rebound off the netting and up in the netting, and is whistled dead. We're a face-off outside the blue line. 4-0. Red Army leads Canucks. 4:24 left in the second.
Continue to have troubles offensively. They have good flow, but they just don't get that quality opportunity that the flow should garner for them. The play takes a little too long to develop in the offensive zone. Now, perhaps it's because they're playing against the Soviets and the emotion is not there, but this is a team that is struggling in the NHL to produce some offense, and there are a lot of reasons out here tonight why that is such.
Soviets are playing an awfully good hockey game now. Back inside his zone, that's Nordmark. Hard to ask you about Nordmark. He's a pretty good defenseman.
But I think what he does, and I think around the league, he's got good skills and he's big, but he lacks that, you know, that instinct that would make him a real dominating force. He's a big fellow, moves well, skates well, handles the puck well, but you don't get that intensity that maybe the real great ones have.
Near the line now, the Soviets trying to penetrate. Konstantinov out in front. There's a shot wide of the net by Fyodorov. They didn't wait to let that shot go either. That's another thing you see from Soviet teams that they didn't used to do. They try to make a couple of plays on that. Now that the old line that a shot on goal is never a bad play. Yakin clearing it in. Davidov has been a force in this game. Now behind the net. Davidov, Ostrikov moving in. Davidov again, number 11. Canucks are seeing a lot more of him than they really wanted to. Kravchuk in the center ice zone. Knocked down. Bozak trying to come through center ice. Back come the Soviets. Chibirev. Chibirev hits the line. Going to get loose again, Chibirev, but it's cleared wide of the net. And the Canucks. Lenardin couldn't hold it. Out at center ice, Kostichkin. Lidster had him lined up. Never got to him. Bozak. Melnick. Out at center ice, the bouncing puck knocked down near the Soviet line by Kravchuk, the veteran. The Soviets on the attack once again with Chibirev. Here's a shot by Davidov. That's wide of the net. Sutter against the far boards. He's double teamed up there, and he didn't like that. Out they come once again, and moving in on the play to help out was Bozak, and I think Bozak's going to pick up the penalty with 2:28 left in the second period. Well, Bozak goes off for elbowing. He was the late man on this play.
Well, Chibirev is going to come in and lay a good hit on Rich Sutter, and Bozak's going to come in with the elbows high and drill him. But again, that's a reaction from a good Soviet coming in and playing physical hockey.
Shiryayev on the boards it comes. Kristich now. Rink-wide pass for Shastin. They're on the power play. Shots on goal 27-9. Red Army. Out near the line, keeping it in is Stelnov. Along the boards. Stelnov again. Shiryayev. From the far side. Maslenikov. Work it out in front. Pile up behind that net. Back out it comes. Stelnov is there, but he loses the puck as he lost his balance up against the board. Back out center ice. Smith going in. Pass as Maslenikov turns. Lost his helmet. They do that a lot.
There seems to be an awful lot of Red Army helmets on the ice.
Maslenikov again. He throws it into the slot. There was nobody there. Konstantinov. Here's the shot. Rebound. They score on the rebound. A high shot by Kristich. Off the rebound.
The Canucks are going to get running around a little bit to the right side of their defensive zone. Konstantinov's going to drill it. Now watch the good hands here. I mean, he's off balance, not a whole lot of room to go. And there are a lot of Canucks on the right-hand side of the ice. But again, he's off balance. Boy, what great hands.
You know, he also did something that you don't see very often. He picked the short side and roofed it.
But again, the Canucks, the play gets a little cluttered on the right side, and they get running around on a short-handed situation. But in close inclination, good hands, roofed it. 5-0 Soviets.
The power play goal. 1:27 remaining in the second period now. Melnick. At center ice, it's knocked down. Malahoff comes back. Comes Kamensky. Kamensky getting that shot, but is knocked down at the defense. Turning back into the corner is Homotov. Kamensky out in front. That was deflected away by Weeks, the goaltender. Larionov's got it now. Larionov would love to see a win for his team, but they have been swallowed up by this Soviet team so far as Bekov comes in. 47 seconds remaining in the second period. Kurutov turning. Gets it out to center ice now. Trying to control it out there was Tanty, but it was checked off his stick. Malahoff turning. There's it ahead to Homotov. Homotov back to the defense. Konstantinov ahead for Kamensky. Kamensky reaching at the line, and Melnick Fed it back to his own defenseman. Now the lead pass to Larionov. Knocks it down at the line. Gets it in. Chasing after him is Kravchuk, former teammate. Here's Karutov. Karutov with Tanti trying to work his way in front of the net. Back to the point. There's the shot. The rebound on his knees as Irbe steered it into the corner. And back out to center ice it comes. Nordmark took that shot. Here's Benning. Ahead for Larionov. Larionov to the line. Larionov as the horn goes to end the period. Shots on goal 29-10 for the Central Army through 2 periods. And the key play of the period, Dave.
Goal number 4. This could be a Pittsburgh Penguin goal. Paul Coffey to Mario Lemieux, but it's Kravchuk to Fedorov. He makes an awful lot of moves here. Weeks stays with them, but just runs out of opportunity to stop the puck. Made the game 4-0.
So the shots on goal were 11-4 in the second period, so the Army can
go out and get that puck, unlike most of the Soviet netminders, and he's certainly given us ample opportunity to back our statements on the top of the show.
Well, through 40 minutes, he has shut him out.
But again, the Canucks, in fairness, I guess the Canucks have not had that many opportunities with only 10 shots.
Konstantinov leaving it for Malahoff, who sends it through center ice, and there's that drifting shot by Kamensky, number 13, for the Central Army. Out near the line, Skriko was unable to knock it down. He's playing at even strength here as we start the third period. 5-0. Beckhoff tried to slip it to Kamensky, who got it caught in his skates. Bradley working on Kamensky. He's got that great stride. Kamensky turning. Big fella, good size. Makes NHL scouts drool. Made the Quebec Nordics drool enough that they drafted him a couple of years ago. Here's Nordmark. Shot in. Konstantinov. He loses it. Bradley working in on the goal. Sandlak is in there, number 19. Skriko turns, chopped up against the boards. Beckhoff tries to take a whack at it. Comes back to the blue line. Nordmark keeping it in. And behind the net there, it's Malahoff. Out of center ice. Turning inside his own zone, Robert Nordmark. Kravchuk. Center ice, Skriko. Skriko tried to flip it in, and he hit Fedorov with it. Fedorov in this game is the leading shot man with a total of 7 now. 4 in the first period, 3 in the second. Out come the Canucks. Smith getting that pass from Linden. Smith trying to circle the defense, being chased by Kravchuk. Konstantinov leaving it for Fedorov. Fedorov on the boards, chipped up against the glass. Smith, Butcher clearing it in. Adams couldn't knock that out of midair. Back goes Malachian for it. Now around the net they come, and it's poked away again. There's Irbe reaching out and making a play himself. Making the job a little easier. Fedorov, Konstantinov, check there. Now Adams. And there's going to be a penalty called on the Central Army. Chestiakov, is it, or is it going to be Fedorov?
I believe he's got Fedorov for a trip. Fedorov, prior to that, in a head-to-head battle, Fedorov, we see him going for tripping. Fedorov and Greg Adams are going to go at it. Fedorov, 6'1", 191 pounds, and that's good quality NHL size, and we see that he'll stand up to any banging. Now the puck's just going to go around, and he pulls Linden's feet out from underneath him. The Canucks now, I think, will just have to try and get something going offensively. Use this as a practice period to get into some kind of groove for the grind that is in front of them in the NHL.
There's going to be another penalty called right off the face-off. Tanti was hauled down, but it's not Tanti. It's going to be Tanti. I think is going to get the penalty. So something happened just outside the blue line, and the bodies flew. Tanti winds up nullifying the power play chance. There's Tanti, number 9.
Right.
There it is.
Oh, boy. Well, that takes away any opportunity the Canucks had to work on anything quite quickly here after that spiel I went into. 7 seconds into the Canuck power play, Tony Tanti nullifies and evens up the ice situation.
Lidster around the boards. Larionov kicks it free. Leaves it there for Melnick. Melnick then loses it. There's a quick shot. taken from directly in front of the net by Kostichkin. And they go after it again. There goes down. Kostichkin circling out. The backhand shot. Weeks reached out, got the pad on it. On the rebound, Kostichkin again got a shot away, but that one was deflected behind the net. Melnick ahead at center ice. That's Krutov trying to get over the line. He stopped. Back comes Davidoff. Davidoff got it caught up in his skates. Krutov checked him. Konstantinov, number 16 for the Central Army.
In this situation with both teams short-handed, we see Larionov and Krutov against the Soviets' young brigade, and they have yet to touch the puck.
Here they come. Larionov now at center ice. Drops it back for Nordmark. Nordmark to the line. Krutov standing at the blue line. Couldn't reach that one, and Konstantinov comes off. Fans are upset at something here as out they come. At center ice, the Soviets with Kristich. He gets the shot away. Bradley on the far boards. Out at center ice. Konstantinov shoots it right in there. There was a player trapped. And Nordmark. Out to Bradley. At center ice, Bradley now working to the line. Bradley with Striko on the far board. Bradley goes down. The puck is hooked behind the net. Past Biakin. And the Soviets again with lots of skating room now. Malakhov at center ice, and he just sent it to the far boards. Where it's taken by Shiryaev. And the Soviets make a change as off the bench comes Malakhine to play on the defense position. Here's a slap shot right on by Kravchuk. Got that good shot. Now Weeks forced to make a save. Striko circles his own net. And he gets some skating room as the Soviets are making changes. And Striko comes through center ice. Striko drops it off. Here's Reinhardt. Stand on the pass, but Bradley's got it. Bradley is checked on the play. And out comes Kamensky. Kamensky getting that jump on the defense. Shoots and scores! And again, we saw that tremendous burst of speed by Kamensky as he just beat the defense and got him alone, and it was allowed to go to his forehand and score.
He's going to push the puck ahead of here and move the puck and away from Butcherd's hack. He moves the puck ahead. Now, again, watch him as he just breaks. Boy, those strides are moving now. Look at the length of that stride. He's just going to push the puck ahead and lift his stick as Butcher goes to whack him. Now, Butcher is whacking nothing. Right there. And in the net, pulls it around on the forehand, but again, boy, those big old strides are moving through that neutral zone, weren't they?
Well, I'll tell you, we said he may be one of the best left wingers in the world. We're seeing an example of what Kamensky can do. That's his second goal of the night. Here's a shot right on. That one taken by Shiryaev. And Weeks clubbed it, shoveled it behind the net, and there Lidster gets it. Puck is out to center ice now. Lenardin gets to the line. Lenardin beating it in front. Puck bounces wide of the net. Is shoveled into the corner by Sutter. Homotov takes a hit. Try to get the pass away. Sutter moves in, but he can't control it. Lidster will try at center ice. Lidster for the Canucks. He's checked on the play. Shiryaev then moves it ahead back to the Vancouver line where Melnick has got it. Melnick can't get it out of his own zone. Now shoots it out off the stick of Sutter. Sutter reaching for it, but it's Kamensky turning inside his own zone. Number 13, Kamensky. Over for Homotov. Fedorov can't knock it down. Stelnov now gives it to Fedorov. And Fedorov at center ice. His shot wide of the net. Long rebound off the backboards. Nordmark picks it up behind his own net. 6-0. Central Army leading. Nordmark ahead. That pass for a breaking Adams, Greg Adams, but he couldn't knock it down. Smith then shoots it in. For the Soviets, Malakhov, number 7. Ahead, Davidoff gets it out to center ice. Nordmark will get the pass from Doug Smith. Nordmark back to his defensive mate, Jim Benning. Ahead for Smith. Smith with Linden and Adams. Over the line, takes the shot. It bounces right in there, and Irbe picks it up.
That's the first Vancouver shot here. We're just about 7 minutes into the third period.
Smith knocking it down. Smith hits the line with a little flip pass to Adams. Adams tried to work it in front for Linden. And the puck is cleared back out to center ice. Yakin takes a hit from Linden as he came out of the zone. And it's called on the icing. And we'll have a face-off deep in the Soviet zone when we come now. Back. Red Army leading 6-0.
but right now we're just about in high gear. Kamensky again, he makes a move without moving the puck. Garth Butcher takes a whack again at nothing. 6-0 Red Army.
Butcher, the shot off the blocker of Irvin. And out come the Soviets, but the whistle goes. There's going to be a holding penalty on Soviet forward Igor Malakhin. Holding penalty to Igor Malakhin. Here it is.
Here it is right here, just off the bottom of the screen, and he had a hold on Larionov for quite a while as the plane turned up ice, pulled him down, and well, the Canucks now maybe will get an opportunity to get something going.
Face-off outside the blue line, and from the face-off it's Kostichkin who shot it to the far boards. Nordmark's got it for the Canucks at his own blue line, and he took a rink-wide pass that was knocked down by Kostichkin, and he shoots it down into the Canucks zone. Reinhart starting out ahead for Larionov. That pass and puts a nice touch pass through to Krutov, but Krutov couldn't hold it. Shirayev behind his net. There's Krutov and Larionov. Larionov bowling his way through there as Greg Adams tried to control it. Larionov as well, and it's finally cleared to center ice and down into the Canucks zone. On the power play, as Tanti comes on the ice, it is Tanti, Larionov, and Krutov, along with Nordmark and Reinhart. Here's Krutov trying to get through the defense, and it's chipped away from him by Konstantinov. Cleared around the boards where Reinhart has it. Reinhart clearing it in front. That's Larionov turning under some close checking. There's a shot by Krutov that missed by about 3 feet. Cleared down the ice once again. Weeks out of his net as Nordmark goes back, and the Canucks will make a change as Skriko comes on the ice along with Sandlak. And Nordmark turns deep in his own zone. Nordmark ahead. Larionov remains on the ice. He gets over the line, but it is again the Soviet defense. Takes over and clears it down the ice. Benning back to get it. Benning working on defense now with Lidster with 27 seconds left in the power play. Ahead, Lidster to Skriko. Skriko hits the line along with Bradley. Skriko marked up against the boards, takes a hit in there by Christie. Now it's back to Lidster. Lidster to the far side, taken by Benning. He shoots it in there, and it is knocked down and held by Irvin. Face-off will be deep in the Central Army zone. 6-0. Red Army leads with 11:21 left in regulation time.
Well, Sandlak is going to plant himself. I believe that's Lind. No, it is Sandlak in front of the net. Irvin does a good job. Look how down low he is. You know, in good position, center of the ice, center of the net, I mean, out high in the crease area. But again, the Canucks just take so long to develop anything, to get anything. We talked to Tikhonov today, as I mentioned before, and he was suggesting where hockey should be heading just to make the game quicker. And both Ron and I looked at ourselves, my goodness, how much quicker could they be? But when he speaks of quickness, it's that ability to move the puck and think quicker. The Canucks are not doing that.
Lidster, Bradley, now behind the net, trying to work free is Skriko. Bradley then circles away from a check, but Stelnoff was there. Now it's cleared out. Back near the line, Benning just tried to golf it behind the net and got it back there. It was a shank shot. Now turning deep in the corner is Sandlak. Sandlak to Bradley. Bradley, good move as he got by some close checking. Now clears it into the corner. Skriko's after it. Skriko, the Canucks consider it a victory if they can pick up a goal from that tough a game for them. Puck is cleared down the ice. Penalty is over. And Weeks leaves it there for Lidster. Shots on goal in this game, 36-13 for the Soviets. Now back near his line and working through center ice is Malakhin. Benning gets it now deep in his own zone. Forechecking is Kamensky. Out to Sandlak. Sandlak ahead to Skriko. Skriko hits the line. Skriko trying to work through, and a good defensive job done by defenseman Igor Kravchuk. They come right back again. Here's Kamensky flying over the line. Shot right on, and it seemed to handcuff Weeks for a second, but he alertly covered up in the goal crease. 6-0. Red Army lead Canucks. 10 minutes left in regulation. There's A kindly coach. He was very kindly and relaxed this afternoon.
He sure
has
was.
been known not to be kindly and relaxed.
I don't know if he used the angle to get these guys going because he was playing against two of the former stars that have now chosen to leave the nest. But in the meantime, his club has played very, very well this evening.
Now, this is a team that is not going to be in second place in the Soviet League for long. Linden turning. You lose 12 players from last year, and they play like this. Here's a chance, right on, rebound, down goes Weeks. Puck winds up back in the corner as those two shots were taken by young Fedorov. Smith shooting it to the line, knocked down there by Malakhov. Back they come again. Adams threw some traffic, got it to the line, but no further. Konstantinov then had trouble with it in his skate. Up against the boards for the Canucks, that's Doug Smith, number 21. Winds up back in the Soviet zone. Malakhov, number 7. He's checked on the play. And it's out of center ice. Butcher getting it to his defense partner, Reinhardt. Back to Butcher. Butcher clearing it in over the line. Adams couldn't hold it. Malakhov again. Out of center ice. Malnick couldn't control it. And the loose puck is picked up by Smith and backhanded into the Soviet zone as Irba steps out of his net and leaves it there for Konstantinov. At center ice, Chibirev. Chibirev turning, working to the corner, getting around Bozek. Now takes a hit in there. Loose puck is picked up by Kostichkin. But again, the Canucks try. Here's Lenardin at center ice. Lenardin. Check, still off behind the net, number 21. Still off. Relayed by Shiryayev. Now Shiryayev will try again. Near the line. Davidoff. Lidster checking on him. Davidoff hits the line. Davidoff does some great moves as he's inside that blue line. The Soviets are making changes and he controls the puck. Davidoff finally loses it, gets it back again. What a show he's putting on. Davidoff behind the net. The fans starting to cheer him, and finally he's stripped of the puck. Lidster clearing it up along the board. Sutter checked on the play by Kravchuk. Bozek goes in deep. Bozek in the corner. Round behind the net, jammed at it, and Irba was right there. Cleared through center ice once again. Weeks picks it up. No icing on the play. Benning ahead for Larionov. Larionov to the line. Karutov. His shot blocked at the defense. Tandy. He tried to work it out in front. Konstantinov blocked that pass up. Out near the line, Nordmark, but his pass went astray, and Shastin's got it. Ahead now over the line for Maselnikov. There's a shot, and the glove save on Christik's shot. Tandy has it. Tandy ahead for Larionov. Nice little move, but he just couldn't get around the last man. Tandy then shoots it in, and in traffic, Irbe gloves it. Maselnikov. Shastin can't reach that pass. It goes all the way down to Weeks at the Vancouver goal. Nordmark played very well here tonight for the Canucks. Tandy. Tandy ahead. Larionov now one-on-one with the defense. He shoots it, and he shot it wide on the backhand. Shiryayev made him force the play. Number 3. Out of center ice now. Here's a 2-on-1. Maslenikov takes the shot, and he drifted it wide on the far side. Larionov with Karutov. He gets to the line, drops it off. Karutov over to the far side. Now they try to get set, and that's Sandlak moving in, and it rolled off the end of his stick. After it there is Butcher. Soviets again start to move it out. Kamensky with that great speed comes through center ice. Kamensky still with that puck, and he shot it wide. Ponce is back off the backboards, and Weeks reaches behind him and holds on. 5:52 left. Red Army 6, Vancouver Canucks nothing.
To anyone that's ever had a fantasy to take the puck out there and keep it on the pond, this is some exhibition by Davidoff of the Central Red Army. He is yet to give the puck up. The Canucks are chasing, whacking, and finally Melnick chases him down because Davidoff runs out of ice. But what a show by Mr. Davidoff.
Got a little old keep away there. Bradley to Sandlak. Sandlak tried to get by Kravchuk. Now takes a big hit up against the boards. There's the two big guys up against, really battling there. Kravchuk took a shot in the back of the head from Sandlak. and said something to Sandlak that Kravchuk was. Sandlak skated away. Nobody was giving much quarter there. There's a shot by Beckhoff that was hoisted high on goaltender Steve Weeks. He holds on. We'll have another face-off deep in the Vancouver zone. On the ice, Soviets have it in their own zone once again. Fedorov. Come right back out again. Kristich getting it for Biakin. Biakin, Kristich takes a shot wide of the net. Adams tracking it down on the far board. Ahead. Center ice. Unable to knock that down was Doug Smith. And then Smith really had Biakin lined up, and Biakin just stepped aside, and Smith piled into the board right in front of his own bench. Here's Smith again. Smith, rink wide. There's Adams. Adams taking a whack at it. Biakin then clears it away. Kristich. Gedozov. He is checked. Kemper's getting a little short in the part of the Canucks right now. Butcher there with Fedorov. Fedorov turning. Rising star. Everybody said, Dave, where are the great players going to come from? They've lost 5 of their greatest to the National Hockey League. Well, we are seeing where they're coming from. Fedorov. Now we've got a battle right in front of the Soviet bench. Something happened, and somebody threw a punch from the Soviet bench. And it has led to Fedorov. Fedorov is having a little battle going on with Sutter. Fedorov and Sutter is wrestled to the ice by Fedorov.
Fedorov started the whole thing by hitting Sutter with an elbow, and then Butcher came in. And it got going from there.
Well,
this was bound to happen. I mean, because the Soviets have not given it an inch here. This was bound to happen.
Well, Fedorov, maybe not a fighter. He was fighting a fighter, and he had to hold his own against young Sutter. 6-0 the score.
Lloyd.
Right here with an elbow. Actually, yes, it is Fedorov. And watch Butcher come in. Here he comes in. Right. Bingo. And it starts from there as Biakin off the bench puts a big paw in and gets involved, and now they're all involved. The Canucks are a very frustrated hockey team for a number of reasons. They're down 6-0. They've been outshot 41-16. And to tell you the truth, Ron, I believe they've been out-hit. They've been outplayed in every area of the ice. And this was bound to happen.
Well, you know, it's frustration, but it's also been a hard-hitting game. And while I'm not a great fan of fighting in hockey, a little honest fight like that is what happens.
That's for sure. I think that's what the Canucks had to do to show them that at least they were here. I was surprised it did not happen a lot earlier. I couldn't help it. As we were going through the second period, I couldn't help but think if this had been Detroit or Toronto or some of those slugfests in the Norris Division, I think this would have developed a lot earlier than it did tonight, because this Soviet team gave no ground when it came to the physical aspect of the hockey game.
Well, in the end, the 2 players involved are going to remain in the game. And see, if this had happened in the Soviet Union, they'd have been tossed out of the game. Get the announcement here. All right, I can tell you what's happened here. He's given minors on this deal, and that's the Soviet referee. They get a little creative because fighting is against the rules in Europe. The Soviet referee says, well, if I give him fighting, I think he's thinking that I'm going to toss these guys out of the game, so he gave him 2-minute roughing minors. That was a pretty good fight for roughing. Or were they?
I'm not sure. I know.
They may have given him the 5?
I think he sent Sutter and Fedorov off the ice. So maybe he gave them 5, and I think Butcher.
All right.
And Stelnov are going to get 2 for roughing.
Yeah, all right. That's the way it was. All right, so
in the meantime, as we line up. Now, before there was a 4-on-4 situation, and I mentioned as the play was going, Larionov and Krutov were out against Davidov and Shuberiev. The young Soviets dictated the play.
Yeah.
We've seen clearly more skilled play from the Soviet foursome on the ice.
Well, now the Soviets continuing to discuss this over at the penalty timekeeper's bench over there, as well as Ilya Biakin, who was in the middle of that deal. There he is, number 6. And he's a tough guy, this Biakin.
Yes, he's been involved also. Trying to figure out.
Always look at Tikhonov through these things. He's always got that sort of bemused look on his face. Exactly. Like, what's going on here? What are they doing? But in the meanwhile, he is applauding the toughness of Soviet hockey. He says that the game is a better game now because it's a tougher game.
After different angles of trying to figure out what he has learned from the North American style, I think that was it, the physical play.
Bekov turning deep in his end. Teams. Kravchuk now clearing it out at center ice. And here he comes again, Kamensky. Kamensky gets it back in his skates, fanned on it as he tried to clear it in front for Bekov. And out of center ice once again. Here's Kravchuk. Kravchuk to Kamensky. Kamensky reeling it out to center ice for Bekov. And it's called on the offside, so we'll get a face-off outside the Soviet blue line. At Maple Leaf Gardens. On the face-off, cleared all the way down the ice. Nordmark is back to get it, and icing once again. You know, there's been a great deal of discussion about the Soviets coming into the National Hockey League. Should they be eligible for the Calder Cup for rookies? Is the Stanley Cup. That kind of put that whole deal in perspective. Sure. I can also remember that there was a young fellow who came out of the World Hockey Association into the NHL, and they declared him ineligible for the Calder Trophy. His name was Gretzky, and yet they'll declare these guys eligible. So there's some foggy, mossy thinking going on in the NHL, I think.
I think what happens is you don't have anybody that just says, hey, this is the way it's going to be. And there are a lot of instances in the NHL that maybe somebody should say, hey, this is what we're going to do. But in the meantime, it makes interesting debate.
Sandlak off the rebound there, shot it wide. Homotop getting it out to center ice. He's working there with Kamensky and Bekov. Now he circles back. 2:50 left. Cleared it right into Bradley. Bradley to Sandlak. Big Sandlak. And he put himself offside as he tried to pass it to Striko. And another face-off outside the blue line. Bradley having a couple of words with Homotop. Kamensky then steps in.
Sandlak joining the festivities here. Speaking with the Canuck people, that feistiness is what they'd like to see more of, Big Jim Sandlak. In the meantime, again, a difference between the two teams. At this point in the ballgame, although there's only 2:45 left, the Soviets for the last 20 minutes of the hockey game have opted to turn back and do the things that they do well. They create a lot of they've had the puck most of the hockey game and are doing a lot more of that traditional Soviet turn off the offensive line and keep the puck.
Puck at the side of the net now in Soviet territory. Irba trying to record a shutout here if he can. He's got 2:29 left to score 6-0. Pinned against the boards, and they'll get another face-off this time deep in the Soviet zone. As they look at Greg Adams, came from New Jersey with the goaltender Kirk McLean. A tremendous deal for Vancouver again. They sent Patrick Sundstrom to the Devils. Two-time 35-goal scorer in the NHL. It looks like he'll get that many again this year.
Sure, well, he's got 20 after score. 20 at this point of the season after getting only 18 last year.
Nordmark loose in front of the net as he fed it into a crowd there. Now he'll have to go back to center ice. Chasing him is Kostichkin. Nordmark made a good move and flipped it out to center ice. Check thrown on Davidov. Puck is cleared in deep, and Benning with 2 minutes exactly remaining. So Linden couldn't hold it. There's a hard hit by Doug Smith on Davidov. And the puck wound up hopping up over the glass. That's a good solid hit on Davidov, who was a little slow getting up on the play.
A moral victory as Doug Smith hits Davidov. Trevor Linden, mentioned before, there's an awful lot expected of this young man for the Vancouver Canucks organization. Right here, he gets just a good, clean, solid, open ice hit. You don't see an awful lot of that in the NHL anymore, but in the meantime, caught Davidoff looking the wrong way, as I guess suggests a moral victory, albeit small, for the Canucks club.
Melnick shooting it into the Soviet zone. 1:45 left. Bozek moves in after it. Tries to check it away from Shastin. Now it's Shuryayev. Back near the line, Lidster. Lidster to the far side. Lidster gets it back again. Ahead for Tanti. Tanti with Bozek. Bozek's the one who'll go in deep after that puck. He's knocked away from it. Tanti checked. Lenardin behind the net, but he can't check the puck away. And the Soviets again start out at center ice. Leading the rushes, Yevgeny Shastin. Shastin trying to split the defense, and he is chased off the puck by Melnick. And Lenardin clears it in. Less than a minute left now as Irba turns. Malahin behind his own net. Out along the boards. That's Kristik. Now Bekov. Bekov with a little move around Kurutov. Turns. Now feeds it ahead. Kristich. Kristich in front. Went off a leg. Nordmark's got it. He's got it off the boards to Larionov. Larionov ahead. Kurutov now with a little room. He comes in over the line working with Nordmark. Gets sent in front. Throws it in there, and it's covered up by Irbe. And he holds on, and we'll get another face-off in the Soviet zone with 28 seconds left in the hockey game. There's Kurutov.
Kurutov going, he just gets his stick out, and he leaves the puck out and creates a little more room for himself and plants his feet to ward off the check. But Irbe just doesn't give up much ground there, does he?
No.
I mean, he just kind of holds his own and bides his time, but you just don't get the sense that Kurutov is going to the net and he wants to get the puck in, he wants to do anything. It's just like, well, I'll put the puck out there, ward the check off, and just kind of put the puck in, you know? But in the meantime, Irbe held his ground and got a good shot at maintaining and pitching a no-hitter here. 6-0 late in the game.
Shots on goal, 41-21. Tells the story on this particular night. Kravchuk. Now Bekov clearing it out through center ice. He's out there now with Chestyakov. Chestyakov is in there forechecking now. And the Canucks try to come away with it. At center ice, Kurutov. Malahin strips it away from Kurutov out in front of the Soviet bench. And Malahin and Smith get their sticks up on each other as the thing winds down to 0.
Well, the Soviets beat the Vancouver Canucks at a North American-style hockey game. Playing like the Flyers and the Bruins, banging, continuing in their checks, and finishing with fine plays of offensive talents of Kamensky and Davidoff. Good hockey game for the Red Army Club.
Well, Kamensky and Davidoff with 2 goals each. The final score, Central Army 6, Vancouver Canucks nothing. We'll return with our Molson Most Valuable Player announcement right after this message.